So let's start the exercise on the stochastic gradient descent. We'll set up everything with this first cell. Uh, and in the next cell, what we do is that we read the data set and we see what are the features and what are the targets. So the target is fuel economy, and there are 13 features as of now. You can see that. And the total number of columns are 14, but the number of features is 13 because the target is 1. So that's the thing, and you can see a glimpse of the data here. The one thing that I want you to note is that this fuel economy is our target variable, but there are different columns, and the columns, some of them are numeric, they have float values, some of them are integers, and some of them have text values. So before you pass on to the neural network, we need to do something. So these are the data types. So you see float, int, and the object. So before you pass on to the neural network, what we are doing some pre-processing. Okay. So what the pre-processing is that we are doing a scaling for the numeric columns. So np.number, it's a scaling, the standard scaling is done, and for the textual ones, we are doing a one hot encoder. What it would mean is that for these values out here, you would get a number of columns. So if you have three types of air aspiration method, you would give three columns for that. So the number of columns, we will see that it would increase after that. So if you run this, you will see that the shape is 50. So it was 13 here, and it has increased to 50, right? So you see that these are the 50 columns out here. Then what we do is that it is a dense network. The shape is 50, which is input shape. You have 128 neurons, 128 neurons, 64 neurons, and the activation is ReLU. So these are the models, and then you add the loss and the optimizer. So the optimizer is Adam and the loss is MAE. So this is what it is. You then train the model doing the fit, and this would, okay, I think we did something. Okay, so let's try it again. Okay, the model is training, and this is what you're getting is a training loss. Okay, so this is a training loss. We start the plot at epoch 5, and if you train the model longer, would you expect the loss to decrease further? It depends. So if it had leveled off, then there won't be any advantage to training for additional epochs. Conversely, the loss appears to be still decreasing, then training for longer could be advantageous. So that's the thing. Um, there is another one experiment that you can try of how the learning rate will help in the training loss and the weights. So what happens is that um, we must understand how the learning rate is affecting the training. Before we run this thing, what I would like you to do is just do a recap of how the learning rate and the weights are changed and what is the relation. So this is from another machine learning course from Google. So here you see this gives a very good snapshot of the loss and the weight. So if you have a very small learning rate, it would take forever, right? But if you have a very large learning rate, it would overshoot the minimum. It would come back and then it would be too much. Okay. But if you have the optimum learning rate, you would reach it very efficiently. So learning rate is very important, and what is meant by that is that a very high learning rate would not be good and a very small learning rate would take forever. So if you go back here and run it, what would happen is that you would see that if you have a very high learning rate, the stabilization is not there. Okay, but if you have a smaller learning rate, like maybe 0.05, then it stabilizes. It might take a little bit more time, but there is a stabilization. So you have to choose your learning rate properly so as to get the proper result. So that's it for now. Thank you.